I went to Dimmock's bookstore this afternoon and I had a look at the cookbooks. One of the cookbooks that I saw was Diabetes Recipes by Jess Lomas, and I wanted to see what was in it, whether the recipes would actually be good or not, and if they would be healthy. And there's the author, Jess Lomas. She's not a doctor or a nutritionist, but she does write about health and lifestyle. I had a flick through. And then I saw removing excess sugar in your diet forces you to get back in the kitchen and create amazing healthy meals from scratch. So that orange part, removing excess sugar, was a red light for me. And then I saw this chapter, the saturated fat myth, and then there's a picture of butter on the left. So she's saying that saturated fat isn't as bad as it's been claimed to be, and that the real source of our health problems are vegetable oils. She then says avoid starchy carbohydrates, including white potatoes, white pasta, and white bread entirely. Create your meals around lean protein. And the recipes look tasty, but if it's based on bad nutritional information, then it's not going to be the best diet for diabetics. And I turned over to the back and I saw what references she used to get her nutritional information, and there were only two of them. There was toxic oil and wheat belly. This is a book that I do recommend, The Reverse Diabetes Diet by Dr. Neal Barnard. This is a book that I gave to my dad who has diabetes. There are 14 different chapters in this book, and he includes some recipes at the back as well to help diabetics. The research that culminated in this book was a team effort. So he was supported by the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases of the National Institute of Health. So this is a doctor who's actually has had results on putting people through his program. His father had spent his entire life treating diabetics. So he goes through the history of diabetes research. He says that 2/3 of his patients improved so much that they were able to reduce or eliminate their medications within 12 weeks. And this kind of diet has other benefits as well, not only for diabetics, but to help with dropping blood pressure. And he shows some testimonials of people who have had success on his program. So Nancy, who changed her diet and she didn't exercise. She followed his recommendations and she lost weight. Her blood glucose fell. So she was able to take less medication. So this is a really good book. I recommend picking it up and having a read. Maybe there's a preview on Amazon or Google Books. But it helps you to understand how people get diabetes what the causes are, what the symptoms are. So if you know someone who has diabetes, or if you yourself have it, I recommend getting this book. It's just talking about how nutrition is neglected in many medical practices, and that treatment is often reduced to prescriptions. So he's got a chapter about reversing type 2 diabetes. It's quite amazing that diabetes can be reversed, not just managed. He's got a lot of recipes in his book. It's not as colourful as the other book, but it's quite resourceful, and he has some 7-day plans as well. So as you can see, it's quite a comprehensive book. It's got an index if there's anything you want to look up. And unlike the other book, this book has plenty of references to journal articles. So it's a well-researched book. As Dr. Barnard said, it was a team effort. And if you look at pictures of Dr. Barnard himself, he's a very trim and fit, healthy person.